this is a fantastic Christmas purchase because it caters to both rookies and veterans alike. How's it going, everybody? Nathaniel from RCInsight here, and today I'm reviewing the Perplexus Revolution Runner. This is a relatively new Perplexus, and I just got into it really a couple weeks ago, even though I've had it for a while. After Perplexus Lightspeed, I thought, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get into Perplexus, but I'm glad I got into this one because I am loving it. It is already up there and one of my favorite Perplexuses. Right off the bat, let's just talk about how this looks. It's totally different for Perplexus to have a flat circle. Most of them are spheres. This is just a circle, which is really different for Perplexus. And then also just the color scheme here. I love this. Looks amazing. Like, it is my favorite looking Perplexus, I think. It looks so cool. And then once you start spinning it, like, it's just cool. I really like how it expands on some ideas that they toyed with in the Twist, where you had two disconnected halves that you had to spin to align them. You have the same concept going here, but on a different scale. On a 2D plane instead of a 3D plane, you have three separate orbs. The outer blue layer, the middle yellow layer, and the inner green layer are on three separate tracks, and they all rotate at three separate speeds. And you do have to align the different sections up properly in order to complete this. So it is similar to Perplexus Twist in that way. But here's what's different about this Perplexus. You'll be able to see as it spins around that there you go, there's some holes in the floor underneath that lead to just this bottom part here. It's easy to get out, and they add another dimension of difficulty to this because you think, oh, I'm safe, I'm on the track, I'm safe, and then all of a sudden you're rotating this thing and along comes one of these holes and whoops, you fall in, just like that. And so that is the main way of failing on this Perplexus. Now that may sound to you like, oh, well, that's not that difficult. And there are other ways to fall off. There are other sections, sidewalls, a couple upside down sections where you can fall off as well. So it's not the only way to fall off. There are other ways as well, but the main way is to fall through the maze. One other thing to mention about this Perplexus is because it is flat as opposed to spherical like a lot of the other Perplexuses, there is a lot more room to cheat on this. It's a lot easier to skip sections of the track. You can easily just hop over a wall and end up in another part of the track, and that'll often even happen by accident. So that is just one thing I wanted to mention. Obviously, if you want to have the satisfaction of completing this, you're not going to cheat anyway. But I just thought it was worth pointing out that unlike some of the other Perplexuses where it's relatively hard to skip sections of the track, in this one, it's quite easy to do so keep that in mind. So next, I'm going to point out some of the unique obstacles to this course. Obviously, the entire thing is very unique in the sense that it is three separate rotating discs, but these spin wheels here are very unique to this set, as well as this middle spiral section I really like. I should mention that actually it is a fourth spinning section. There's actually four spinning sections. It's the innermost layer. But these spirals here, turn wheels, are very unique to this set. This entire stair obstacle course here, particularly with the fact that the base of the set has holes in it and is a trap, this is a very unique section. I've not seen something like that done in Perplexus before. And then the other thing that stands out here is these sections, these bridge sections, I guess we can call them, or these floating sections of track. We've not seen anything like that in other Perplexuses because they've all been 3D as opposed to 2D like this. So to get like a layered labyrinth of obstacles is also very different from what we've got in the past. Other than that, there's not a ton of obstacles in this that we haven't seen before. It's more limited in terms of obstacle style due to the nature of it being more two-dimensional than three-dimensional like past ones. But like I said, the way you fall off the obstacles, I mean, just in general, that is different. One last thing that's worth noting is these two gate obstacles here are also quite different than in the past. You can see they pop up like that, so that's a little different than anything we've gotten in the past as well, which I kind of like. So next, let's talk about the functionality. The way you get this to spin, unlike the Perplexus Twist where you rotate it at the top and bottom, this one has a button that you press to spin it. The other thing that this set has is a switch on the bottom with 4 speeds. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can see all 4 speeds there. And this allows for some difficulty flexibility, because at the base level, when you're just aligning it yourself, it's easy. When you're trying to play this as it's constantly rotating and rotating faster and faster and faster, it becomes much more of a challenge. There becomes things at play that have not been in play before, such as centrifugal force, momentum. All these sorts of things were all dictated by your movements, and they're now dictated both by your movements and the game itself. When it is turned on to spin mode, you press this to stop it. Now, to me, that takes away a little bit of the fun. My goal is going to be to master it on all 4 different speeds without stopping it. That's the ultimate challenge. And I will say, that is one of the nice things about this, because at first I'm like, oh, this is relatively easy. I beat it, no problem, first time through. And then when I realized that there's the different speeds, this scales difficulty depending on what type of challenge you're looking for, which is just fantastic. For a rookie player, this is a nice introduction, but there's the option for it to be challenging for even a veteran Perplexus player, and that is something that no other Perplexus offers. That range in skill level in one set just has not existed before, and it is here, which is fantastic. Now, overall difficulty, like I said, this is on the easier side. I'd say, in around Perplexus rookie difficulty without it spinning. When it's spinning full speed, you're talking Perplexus Epic difficulty, potentially looking at one of the harder, maybe not Perplexus Epic, but certainly more difficult than the original. Like, you're looking at a top 5, possibly top 3 in terms of difficulty for the Perplexus. So at speed, this is very difficult and very challenging, and so I love that it has the ability to scale like that. Now, one other thing worth noting about the difficulty is that this Perplexus has no checkpoints, so in order to complete it, you have to go start to finish. There's no save points along the way. So finally, overall, how do I feel about this? Where does this rank for me? This is one of my favorite Perplexuses, probably top 3 now. Eventually, one day, I will rank all the Perplexuses, but I really, really like this set, one of my favorites. This is a fantastic Christmas purchase because it caters to both rookies and veterans alike. If you're looking at buying a Perplexus, I'd say this is your best one to get right now. Absolutely fantastic set and a good price point, as really all the Perplexus maze games are. So that's my review of the Perplexus Revolution Runner, guys. You can check out my walkthrough in the description, and you can also see links to all my other Perplexus videos as well. You can also expect more Perplexus reviews and tutorials, walkthroughs coming out as soon as new Perplexuses get released, so subscribe if you're interested in that, and like this video if you enjoyed it, found it helpful. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and with all that said, I'll see you in the next video.